This is a 1-star trampoline park, and this one right here has 5 stars. And today, I'm gonna see if there's actually a difference. Here are the rules for the video. I have to test. This is a 1-star trampoline park, and this one right here has 5 stars. And today, I'm gonna see if there's actually a difference. Here are the rules for the video. I have to test Yelp reviews to see if they're true, test and rate all amenities of the parks, and finally, I have to give my honest rating, starting with the 1-star trampoline park. But before we go in, let's gather some information by reading some reviews. Some of these are kind of dysfunctioning, so we're just gonna, bear with me here. John L.H. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need a mullet haircut to visit this establishment. Clearly do not have a mullet, so I think we're good. Anyways, Natalie I, or L, I'm really not too sure. She said, filthy, trash everywhere, parking lot, in the building, the bathrooms, smoke from the bar fills the arcade. That's concerning. Several arcade machines took money without working. I now know what I have to do. We're definitely gonna test an arcade machine. At last, we have Professor S. He clearly had a lot to get off of his chest. It seems to be Professor S had a huge problem with this place. Now it's time to see if I do too. I walked in and immediately paid for my jump time, which came out to be $17.12 for 2 hours, including the grippy socks, which I have to say is actually kind of reasonable. So I give the price 4.5 stars. Now, before we get started, let's take a look around and see what this place has to offer. They have trampolines, obviously, a foam pit with more trampolines by it, another foam pit with 2 crazy contraptions, a dodgeball arena, and a basketball goal. Now that we got that out the way, let's test some reviews, starting with Kathy D. And she said, just left my grandson's birthday party. What a ripoff. Over 200 bucks for about 12 kids. That sounds absurd. So we're gonna see if this place is even worth to spend that kind of money on. Best way to do this, go around and test everything. I'm gonna start by testing the quality of the trampolines. And to be honest, I'm actually very impressed how bouncy these trampolines are. I was even able to do some of my favorite tricks with literally no effort. However, I did notice a couple of flaws in this area. Some of the mats by the trampolines are extremely worn out, but the trampolines are really good. So the overall rating I give for this area of the park is 4 stars. Now we're moving on to the foam pit. And here's the first thing I noticed. I gotta be honest, it looks disgusting. I don't really want to jump in this, but I'm willing to give it a try. And some other things I noticed is the constant use of duct tape to hold pads together, and this really sketchy flickering light, which is kind of spooky. Someone needs to fix that. That is not okay. Now let's test the foam pit. Yay! It is extremely hard to get out of this. I feel like I have to use the other trampoline too. It just looks fun. I have to. Double backflip. That was cool. I like this thing a lot. This is really cool. Although this foam pit is literally hanging on by a thread, I still had fun. So my rating for the foam pit is 3 stars. Now we're moving to the other foam pit with these 2 crazy contraptions. And I think I'm gonna start with this ladder thing first. Oh my God. Oh my. As I was climbing out of the foam pit, I noticed again how duct tape is literally holding this park together. What's up with the duct tape? Next, I wanted to try battling someone on this beam, and for a bit, I couldn't find a worthy opponent until I found this guy. This is Carson. He's gonna be my opponent. I'm actually terrified because if I how old are you? 12. Oh my gosh. If I lose to a 12-year-old, I feel like I actually have to try so I don't lose. That's all the ego boost I needed for today. Thank you, Carson. I really can't get over how much duct tape is being used to hold this place together. However, my rating for this part of the park is 2 stars. And back to Kathy's review, I definitely don't think this place is worth 200 bucks for 12 kids. Like, that's outrageous. Just buy a trampoline at that point. So, I approve of Kathy's review. The next review we'll be testing is Natalie I. And she said, filthy, trash everywhere, parking lot, in the building, the bathrooms, smoke from the bar fills the arcade. I see no smoke. Several arcade machines took money without working. Now that, as a child, is quite disappointing. We're gonna test these arcade machines. We need to get to the bottom of this. The first game we're trying to see if Natalie's review is true is this snowboarding game, which looks sick. The moment of truth. It did not steal my money. I'm not even gonna lie, this game is actually extremely fun. Now, although this game didn't rip me off, we still have to try other machines to see if Natalie's review was true. Okay, now we're gonna play some basketball. That is awesome. Even though I absolutely suck at basketball, this game does work, so unfortunately, Natalie's review about the arcade is false. So my rating for the arcade is 5 stars. However, Natalie did mention the bathrooms were filthy, so I decided to investigate it myself, and here's what I found. Paper towels everywhere. The sinks, kinda gross. So I rate the restrooms 1 star. Glad no one's in the stalls or anything, because this is quite an uncomfortable feeling. I'm gonna leave now. And just when I thought it couldn't get any more gross, I found this. A baby cockroach Frank Roach. I also named him Fred. I'm genuinely curious to know what he thinks this trampoline park is rated. Back to Natalie's review. She was both right and wrong. However, now we're moving on to the worst review yet by Professor S, and he said, "Bad for business. Here's the story." That's how you know it's probably going to be a very long story. One of the most important things I think about this review that he did say, "I will never take my children to Mullet Hop again. Unorganized and unprofessional." Relax, brother. It's come on now. He mentioned multiple times a employee snapped her neck at him. I'm assuming that means caught an attitude of some way, shape, or form. All the employees, to me, have been pretty nice. I really can't say anything bad about the employee. Now, I'm nowhere near as upset as Professor S. However, my overall rating for this trampoline park is 3.5 stars. Now, let's see if the 5-star trampoline park is actually better. But before we go in, let's see what other people have to say about this place. Starting with Gene, Prayer? Can't pronounce that name. I apologize, Gene. Anyways, Gene said, "It was wonderful. The kids played basketball the whole time we were here. They had so much fun. That absolutely sounds like a blast. I'm actually really excited to do some flips. I'm not even gonna cap." Next review, we have Jonathan